How do you complete the World Trade Center Health Program Survivor application? Step 1. See if you are eligible. The WTC Health Program serves 4 groups of people affected by the 9/11 attacks. If you are a survivor, you are part of the WTC survivors, those who lived, worked, or went to school in the New York disaster area. And eligibility criteria for the WTC Health Program are defined by the James Zadroga 9/11 Health and Compensation Act of 2010. You can look on the program website to see if you fit in one of these 4 groups. If you think you are part of one of these groups, in this case a WTC survivor, then see if you satisfy the activity, location, time, and days requirements for your group. Step 2. Review what documentation you will need. You must include supporting documentation that details the activity, location, time period, and days requirements. Each eligible group has different requirements and types of supporting documentation that can be submitted. Step 3. Complete the application for your group. You can either apply online via the program's online system or by downloading a form and submitting it via mail or fax. Let's review the process for completing the paper WTC Survivor application. Page 1 asks for your basic contact information. Page 2 refers to your World Trade Center disaster area experience. The disaster area is anywhere in Lower Manhattan below Houston Street and in the parts of Brooklyn within 1.5 miles of the World Trade Center site, including parts of Brooklyn Heights, Dumbo, and Vinegar Hill. Because the Survivor program is primarily a treatment program, you must have at least one WTC-related physical or mental health symptom or condition to enroll. If you do, check the box and briefly describe the symptom or condition and when it started. If eligible, survivors are enrolled as screening-eligible survivors, but become certified eligible survivors if their initial health evaluation results in being certified with at least one WTC-related health condition. Now, on to your presence in the disaster area. Check the first box if you are present in the New York City disaster area in the dust or dust cloud caused by the collapse of the WTC towers on September 11th. Check the second box if you worked, lived, attended school, childcare, or adult daycare in the disaster area. Then insert the number of days you were there between September 11th, 2001 and January 10th, 2002, and your location at that time. Next, insert the number of days you were in the disaster area from January 11th, 2002 through July 31st, 2002. Now put in the location or address of where you were during that time. If you worked as a cleanup worker or did maintenance work in the area from September 11th, 2001 to January 10th, 2002, check the box. Then fill in the location or the address where you worked. If you lived in the New York City disaster area during the time between September 11th, 2001 and May 31st, 2003, and were deemed eligible to receive a residential grant from the Lower Manhattan Development Corporation, or LMDC, check the box and put in the address and the number of days you were living there. Check the next box if you worked for a company in the disaster area that was deemed eligible to receive grant money from the LMDC or other government programs to help revitalize Lower Manhattan after September 11th. Insert the address of the company. If you are not able to check any of the boxes above, but still believe that you qualify, check the box and write your reason in the space provided. Page 3. Now we'll move on to the required documentation that you must provide with your application. If you worked in the disaster area between September 11th, 2001 and July 31st, 2002, among the best documents you can include with your application are pay stubs, a letter from your then employer, a letter from a supervisor, coworker, or union. If you are enrolled in the World Trade Center Health Registry, a copy of your registry survey. Any documentation provided must verify the physical work location or address and the date range worked. If you lived in the disaster area, examples of a document to include with your application are a copy of your lease, a letter from building management or your World Trade Center Health Registry survey. Any documentation provided must verify the physical residence location or address and the date range you resided there. For students who went to school in the disaster area between September 11, 2001 and July 31, 2002, the best documents to include with your application are a transcript, a diploma, a photocopy of your student ID, or a letter from your school. Any documentation provided must verify the physical school location or address and the date range you attended school there. If you were present in the NYC disaster area in the dust or dust cloud on September 11, 2001 for any reason, for example if you were shopping or went to a meeting, the best documents to include with your application are any receipt showing the location and date of September 11, 2001, or a written and signed statement from you or someone who was with you with a description of your activities. The statement must describe your physical location or address on September 11, 2001 during the collapse of one or both WTC towers and should confirm any exposure to the dust or dust cloud that you experienced. If you are unable to submit the required documentation, you must explain how you have attempted to obtain this documentation and the reason you are unable to do so. You will also need to provide a signed written statement that you meet the eligibility requirements and include details about where and why, as well as the time period you were in the disaster area. There is also a voluntary information section where, if you are a member of a union, professional organization, or association, you have the option of listing your membership. Page 4 is simple. You will just sign and date your application. By signing the application, you are attesting, under penalty of perjury, that you believe you meet the eligibility criteria. Pages 5 through 11 are notices regarding WTC Health Program requirements. Please read through these notices carefully. Your application is now complete. You can submit a paper application in two different ways. You can mail it along with your supporting documentation to the WTC Health Program. The address is on the screen. Or you can fax it to the number you see on the screen. The paper application cannot be submitted by email. If you prefer to submit your application online, along with your supporting documentation and signature page, please visit the website you see on the screen to fill out the WTC Health Program's online application. We recommend that you submit your application and supporting documentation at the same time.